Let's look at an all-American food, the hamburger. On average, we eat about 3 burgers per week. So let's see, if all 313 million Americans eat 3 burgers per week, that's 156 burgers per person per year. Altogether, that's more than 48 billion burgers every year. A quarter pounder at a fast food joint costs about $3 or $4. That's pretty cheap. But what we don't pay for at the counter, we end up paying for in other ways. What are the hidden costs? First of all, cows take up a lot of space. Worldwide, livestock use 30% of the Earth's entire land area. That's counting pastures and land used to grow grain for feed. We use about 8 times as much land for feeding animals as for feeding humans. And in places like Brazil, acres of forest are still being cleared for livestock, which creates pollution and also removes a perfect sponge for absorbing carbon dioxide. And did someone mention water? It takes about 1,800 gallons of water to make a single pound of grain-fed beef. That's about 4 times the amount for chicken and more than 10 times the amount for a pound of wheat. Why does it take so much land and water to feed cows? This isn't an exact science, and the numbers vary depending on how the cows were raised. But a single quarter pounder clocks in at about 6.5 pounds of greenhouse gases. That might not sound like much, but with Americans eating 3 burgers per week, that's more than 158 million tons of greenhouse gases per year, about the same amount as 34 coal-fired power plants. It's not the cow's fault. It's the system we've created to mass-produce beef that's the problem. Too many burgers take a toll on the environment. They can take a toll on your body, too. This is the recommended daily diet. And this is how most Americans actually eat. We eat too much meat, grains, fat, and sugar, and not enough fruits and vegetables. Many studies show that eating too much red meat can lead to heart disease, high blood pressure, and even diabetes. The hidden costs add up. One research group figured the cost just in greenhouse gases, water for growing cattle feed, and healthcare at about $1.51 for every burger. Multiply that by the 48 billion burgers Americans eat every year, and that's more than $72 billion. We don't pay for it at the store or at the fast food joint, but we pay for it in other ways. So what can we do? Well, we don't have to give up meat to change our impact. Cutting out just 1 burger per week would remove as much greenhouse gas pollution as taking your car off the road for 350 miles. If all Americans ate no meat or cheese 1 day a week, it would have the same climate change prevention effect as taking 7.6 million cars off the road for 1 year. And while it's more expensive, grass-fed beef does less damage to the environment. Even the smallest choices make a big difference to the environment, to our neighbors, to our health. In the US, people are starting to eat less meat, but the rest of the world is eating more. Just imagine, what if all 1.3 billion people in China ate 3 burgers a week, like we do? Could our planet keep up?